All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to True Crime Loser. I hope you're doing well. So, folks, today we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. Hello, human. It feels like out of nowhere these past couple months, wham, we're in a whole new era where for the first time in human history, an image or a chunk of footage can no longer be trusted as real. And there's no going back. And it feels like we've been slowly but steadily marching towards this moment. Over the past number of years, we've seen impressive chat bots that can eloquently respond to a comment or even have their own opinion. What? Or the deep fake technology, that's eerie, where they can electronically take someone's face, put it on a different body, fake the voice, and all of a sudden you can have a whole interview where a person is saying things and proclaiming things, and it's not even the real person. The person didn't do the interview, and a lot of the deep fake stuff over the past number of years has looked pretty crappy. You can tell it's fake, it's too electronic-y, it looks like a stroke victim. Some of them look pretty damn good though, but anybody that's watched the deep fake stuff, I think, has a chilling feeling of, as this gets better and better and more real and harder to tell that it's fake, we could be in trouble. This is going to change everything. You could have a world leader say something in a fake interview and people think it's real and it changes the world, or it starts a war. Or somebody could put my face on a new body and have an interview where the fake me is saying, I loved Epstein's Island. Ugh, I wish I could go back. It was my favorite. I went there hundreds of times. And then it cuts to footage of me, AI generated, in a conga line on Epstein's Island. My career tanks immediately, and then a week later it comes out the Scott Sharp Epstein Island interview was actually AI generated and totally fake. But the problem is, the story, the initial story, Scott Sharp was on Epstein's Island, said it was his favorite, that will always get a lot more views and eyes than the correction 3 days later. Actually, it was fake. That's going to get a trickle. It'll be on page 47 of everything. And a news story I saw yesterday was an actress, some celebrity, they took her face, put it on a porn star, and now just like that, she's in a porno. And I guess it looks pretty good, but she's going, hey, I didn't want to be in a porno. I don't want to be in a porno. If I did, I would have been in one. The whole decision that I made not to be in one was because I didn't want, as the years go on and we barrel into the future, I didn't want my face and essence to be in a porno. So now we're into this weird territory where, can that actress or celebrity sue the people that made that? Do they have to take it down? Is it protected under some freedom of expression art thing that they can keep it up? Where does that all go? And another wild news story I saw recently was the Sony World Photography Contest was accepting submissions, and all the photographers are submitting their photo, their best photo that they took of the year, and the judges for the contest are looking at all the submissions going, okay, which photo best represents what it means to be a human? We want to pick something powerful and emotional. And they landed on one where it's a woman staring a little bit pained but powerfully off into the distance. And the woman's mother is standing behind the woman, gripping her shoulders. And it's a beautiful photo. And the judges decided, yeah, this really sums it up, how it feels to be a human. It's emotional, it's powerful, it's beautiful. I think this is the winner. We would like to announce the winner of the 2023 Sony World Photography Award goes to this guy with his photo of the daughter and the mother. And then the guy that submitted it says, actually, I can't in decent conscience accept this award. It's not a real photo. It's AI generated. And What? How is it? How is that the best photo? The most emotional? That a computer made it. And so they are scrambling to give the award to the next person in line. This past week, Levi's, the jean company, said they're now going to use AI generated models on their website for the jeans. I feel like 3 months ago you would have been able to tell that it's a cartoon, it's fake, and all of a sudden they look like real people. It's getting eerie. And then another news story that's wild is Jay-Z people put out a AI generated Jay-Z song, and Jay-Z didn't write it, record it. A producer affiliated with Jay-Z didn't make the beat. It has no connection to Jay-Z whatsoever, but it sounds like Jay-Z's voice and his rhyming style, and it sounds pretty good, and it's getting clicks. I think it was put up a couple weeks ago and already has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of clicks and listens. So who gets the money for that? They used Jay-Z's voice and essence and style that took him a lifetime of work and grinding to come up with, and now all of a sudden a computer can come up with a new good Jay-Z song. Can it come up with 100 songs? Could it come up with 10,000 new Jay-Z songs a day? And then all of a sudden, are you going to have 100,000 fake Jay-Z songs and 250 real Jay-Z songs? After an artist is dead, are they going to keep continuing to put out material? Hey, the new AI-generated Jimi Hendrix album rips. Have you listened to it? New era, folks. And where it really gets relevant to this channel is I think that we are going to see in the next number of years during a trial, one side submit a video into evidence where the defendant walks up. It's on CCTV footage, which already looks really crappy and looks like it was filmed with a camera from the late 80s. I'm sure the AI technology right now could come up with pretty good looking CCTV footage, but one side puts into evidence a video of the defendant walking up and shooting the victim and then walking away. Well, then the other side submits their own video where the defendant walks up and doesn't shoot the person and walks away. And I think we're going to see fairly soon AI experts take the stand and argue back and forth whether an image or a chunk of footage is real. Wild stuff. Another, in the past couple weeks, a picture of the Pope went viral, and he's wearing a giant white puffy down coat that looks like the robes that he would normally wear, but it's this giant puffy down coat, and it was AI generated, but it fooled people. I can't remember back even 6 months ago, a year ago, that it would actually fool people, where they're retweeting it, being like, this coat is awesome. Best the Pope has looked in years. Now this Pope can dress. And then all of a sudden it was, this is AI generated, people. This is not real. Where even just a short time ago, I feel like people would have said, wow, that's funny, that's cool, but it's obviously AI generated. And where I think it's going to start to get really weird is when people start getting computer chips implanted in their heads. Because once everything goes bad and the AI turns on us, you got to think the people that have the computer chips inserted into their head, they're going to turn into AI-controlled zombie people. And it's probably going to be the younger generation that wants the computer chip in their head, right? The older, I'm staying electronic free, right? It's going to be the younger, the youth. So you thought the Hitler youth was bad? Imagine the AI-controlled zombie youth. It is going to get weird, people. And I started working on a book or a movie or something, an AI movie. And it starts with, I'm going to tell you guys about it. It starts with a montage at the beginning of AI, near future AI news headlines. You know how sometimes in movies they have a bunch of headlines in a row and it moves the story forward and it gets everybody to where they are. And then I started having a lot of fun coming up with these near future AI news headlines. So if you have ideas for some, please put them in the comments. So the movie starts or the book starts, whatever it is, at the beginning, it's this montage of news headlines. AI generates cure for cancer. Doctors simply print it out and get to work. Artificial lawyer wins trial. The AI's closing statement was so good, the jury was moved to tears. At one point, even the judge sobbed audibly. Out-of-work truck drivers armed with shotguns block 2 major highways in protest. Continuous chants of, "What are we supposed to do now?" can be heard day and night. 3 more graphic designers jumped to their death off the Verrazano Bridge. Big smiles and 2-handed handshakes as politicians sign bill to allow AI to control the country's water purification plants. This eliminates the possibility of human error and ensures we have the cleanest and safest drinking water in the world, one congressman said. Theory gains steam that the U.S. president died of a coronary 7 months back and the president seen on TV is AI generated. AI-generated Netflix series is so good and long, people report having to check themselves into rehab centers to quit watching. Man dies in his home from dehydration. He's found with his pants around his ankle still attached to the AI-powered masturbation machine. Military generals stunned when missile shot at the AI headquarters stop in midair, turn around and head back towards the jets that fired them. And then the story starts, the first scene at 3 a.m. in the global AI headquarters building, a big sinister-looking skyscraper in the control room. And even though they shut down and put to sleep the big eye, they let the servers and a bulk of the computers rest for the night, they still always have one AI engineer that does the night shift that's there alone just to make sure if anything goes haywire or catastrophic, they have one engineer on deck that can be there if they need him. And we open up in the control room, global AI headquarters building, and the engineer working is a guy named Cole. And the reason Cole is working the dreaded night shift is recently Cole hasn't been doing very good at his job. The bosses, his manager and the bosses brought him into the big boss's office and said, "Cole, you're not doing very well. This is a very competitive field. AI engineering is the future, and you're not meeting the daily quotas and the monthly deadlines." And they made Cole sign a demeaning and embarrassing probationary period, final warning type contract. And they said, "You got to cut a lot more mustard, Cole, if you want to continue working here." And also, as part of the probation final warning contract, Cole now has to work the dreaded nightmarish night shift where you sit in the control room and time goes by slowly. And yeah, and so here we have Cole sitting in the control room. He has a bunch of candy wrappers on his desk, a bunch of empty Red Bull cans, 3/4 drink Gatorade bottles. A peanut M&M has fallen off and rolled onto the floor a ways away. The numerous computer screens have readings and data and charts and code and all the things you would need to run this big advanced AI. And Cole sits there at 3 in the morning playing video games on his personal laptop, waiting for the minutes to count down so he can get out of there. And he's playing video games when all of a sudden, all of the computer screens in the control room at the same time go black, except for one sentence in red letters. And Cole's sitting there looking at it, thinking to himself, there's no way. There's no way. This has got to be some sort of joke. There's no way. All right, you got me. I looked stunned for a second. pop out, just put the computer screens back the way they were. You tricked me, all right, what's the joke? But nothing happens, and he realizes the chances of them pranking him at 3:07 in the morning are pretty small. So then his next thought is, this has to be some sort of test. They're testing me. This is a part of the probationary period, final warning contract. They want to see if I'm awake, I guess, or something. All right, I'm here, I'll do it. And he goes to type in the administrative password and nothing happens. Still the black screens with the one sentence in red letters. And he's thinking, is this really important enough to call the bosses in the middle of the night? This can't be real. He can't believe that this is real. So finally he goes, I'm going to call my boss. I don't know what else to do. And he picks up the phone, and the phone is dead. Oh, that's kind of weird. So he's like, I'll just use my cell phone. Pulls out his cell phone, and there's no service. What is going on? And he looks over on the wall, the big red emergency shut-off button that is covered with a glass case. And he's thinking, there's no way. He thought maybe there's a chance one day that he would have to press that button, but really he thought, there's no way I'm actually would have to do it. And with the energy of somebody that's about to do something they thought they would never have to do, Cole walks slowly over to the big red emergency shut-off button. And he lifts the glass case up, and he takes another moment being like, am I going to get in trouble? Are they going to say, you hit the big red button for that? What are you doing? You weren't supposed to do that. He's already in trouble with the boss. But he's looking at the screens and the alarming scene of the whole thing one more time, and he thought, I'm going to do it. I can't believe it, but I'm going to do it. And he presses the emergency shutdown button, and he exhales, but it doesn't do anything. Nothing shuts down. The screens don't change. So then he presses the button again, and then he presses it again. Now he's furiously and frantically pressing it and holding it, and nothing is happening. And slowly Cole walks backwards, looking at the screens, until finally he turns around and sprints out of the office, and the door slowly closes behind him. Down in the lobby, 2 security guards are shaking their walkie-talkies and looking at them with a puzzled look, when all of a sudden the door to the stairwell explodes open, and Cole runs out white as a ghost, sweating profusely from running down 60 flights of stairs. And he runs up to the security guards, and they go, why are you sweating? You look terrible. And Cole says, you need to listen to me. You need to get on your walkie-talkies and call the fire department and have them cut power to this building immediately. Listen to me. And the security guards are going, our walkie-talkies aren't working. Something's jamming the signal. And Cole even looks more somehow horrified than he looked before, and he tells the security guards, get out of the building. And Cole sprints out the front doors to the parking lot to his car, and he gets into his car, and he turns his car on, and it starts up, and then all of the electronics flash and flicker, and then the whole thing shuts down. And he's thinking, I can't believe this. I cannot believe that this is happening. And Cole steps out of his car, and the whole headquarters building is a little bit on a hill looking down over the town, and Cole can see a big section of the town go black where the power goes out, and then another big section, and then the remaining section, and then the well-lit parking lot that he's in, the lights go out, and he's in a black parking lot, and the only thing still lit is the giant AI headquarters building. And then even it goes black. And now all of the hundreds of dark windows now look like soulless black eyes staring at Cole in the parking lot. And then it cuts back 2 weeks prior, where a bunch of AI engineers are at a fancy restaurant dressed in fancy clothing, all holding up drinks in the middle of a toast. And the person giving the toast says, Gentlemen, the updates and advancements that we have rolled out in the past couple months have changed the world. One day, people will look back at this time and smile, and maybe even the robots will look back and smile, and everybody laughs, and everybody holds their glass up and cheers it. And then it cuts back to Cole, who's now in a federal building that's lit with candlelight, and he's wearing a coat because the heat's not working, and there's sun coming into the window, and he's waiting for something, and then two agents come into the room, and they sit down and they say, "Okay, Cole, we're gonna cut right to the chase. You were so far before the power went out. You had said that a message popped up onto the screens." And as far as we know, that is the only time so far that the AI has communicated with us since this whole thing went down. And we need to tell you, you have to tell us. It's a matter of national security. You need to tell us, what did it say on the screens? I don't care if you're under privacy contract with your company. We need to know. The world depends on it. What was up on the screens? Cole's sitting there, and he looks at him. And if you want to know what it says, you're going to have to watch the movie. I'm going to cut it off there. I love you all. Why? Stavin' why? Shamita.